Geneva Watch Days. We're meeting with Antoine Pin from Bulgari. We're talking about the new collection, about a beautiful book that they made, and about the Geneva Watch Days. What is Geneva Watch Days for you as Bulgari, as a brand, as a platform? What does it do?
Well, I think you used the right word. It's a very open platform. We are now 39 brands exhibiting at the Rotonde on the Quai du Mont Blanc, presenting ourselves through different ways, different locations, since the platform is very open and leaves the free space for every brand to express themselves. So we are here at the Ritz-Carlton, others are in their own boutiques or their own manufacturers, welcoming the public, because obviously the platform is, from my perspective, first and foremost dedicated to all the stakeholders, and not just the business partners. And it's really a celebration of the art of and the culture of watchmaking, celebration through the products, through the people that we expose. I'm just coming out of a breakfast we were having with the students and school teachers to present the challenges, opportunities of the watch industry. Therefore, we are talking to many more people than what we would do in a regular salon, where it's more trade relations or press relations. So it's very vivid, it's very dynamic, the format is very supple, which allows for, again, a very vast space for freedom in terms of our own expression and our own presentations. And it seems to be working. We are quite successful. We see more brands coming, as I said. We see more press, more retailers coming. We see a wider public attending. We're hoping to reach probably 6,000-7,000 people visiting the tent, and also more partners freely joining to celebrate watchmaking. This year, the Grand Prix d'Horlogerie de la Ville de Genève presented their nominees to the Grand Prix yesterday evening. The FHH, the Federation of Haute Horlogerie, is now participating and organizing an art exhibition in Geneva, as well as some quiz and during the open day on Saturday under the tent to expose the way they develop education about watchmaking. So all sorts of examples showing you the variety of activities that we want to continue to develop, because Geneva is the place where that really is perceived as the cradle of Swiss watchmaking, and we want to show the diversity and the dynamism of this activity.
Sounds good. Also happy with the increase of visibility at this moment in the year.
Very happy about it. You know, at the end of the day, August, September is a very interesting period. We are somewhat exposing our activities in the run-up to the festive season. Which is clearly a peak season for gifting and for our own activity. So it's the right moment to expose ourselves to future clients. And so very happy about that moment. And the good thing is everybody's suntan, in a good mood. We had a break, from each other. So we're happy to see each other again. And truly you feel it. You feel the good vibrations of this event. And that creates a great momentum.
Can imagine. It's also for us from press similar. So you're launching a new book.
Yes.
More than 100 years of watchmaking from Bulgari. There's never been a really significant book on that. Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, well, the title is quite right, actually. We call it Beyond Time. So I think after 100 years, it's the right way to name this book. It was about time to do a book about the history of Bulgari as a watchmaker, not as a jeweler. And we are very proud of it. It's quite a significant book. And it's really, it's the way we built it. It's complicated to make a book about watches. There are plenty of them. They can be big catalogs. They can be too technical. They can be too shallow. Finding the right tone is difficult. The way we looked at it, we built it in chapters that somewhat summarize our history, starting with the jewelry watches, which were the first watches that we made. Moving to Serpenti, which is the first product that we made in a larger number of pieces and variations, but it's also a product that the very first two Bogas versions were dated from 1937, the first Serpenti piece for 48, then the BB collection, which we launched in 75. So you see every collection stands for a moment in our history, which is really facilitating the talk, because we can run the course of history while presenting who we are today. And then we also asked many characters to talk about Bulgari. So it's not just a monography by one writer, it's actually interviews, letters, different ways to talk about Bulgari. And here we have collectors like Valeria Chan. We have athletes like Carl Lewis talking about world records. We have artists like Lorenzo Viotti, the conductor of the Amsterdam Orchestra, talking about the management of complexity as a group of people. And of course, we have then other people more directly into watchmaking, Auro Montanari, from an external perspective, but also Fabrizio Bonamassa talking about Octo, or Pascal, who is one of our major master watchmakers, who is talking about complications. So a lot of perspective, building a patchwork that gives you a perception of what Bulgari Watches is, and of course brings a lot of emotion, because every individual talks about their own emotional bond to the brands, above and beyond the facts that make our history. And this bond is expressed through stories. And every story, I mean, I'm always, I love the interview of Valeria Cere, because she talks about her connection to the Serpenti collection. And she gives a name to every piece she purchased, because there are so many varieties, and the name, of course, embodies the aesthetics of the product. And she says every Serpenti watch I wear is actually protecting me from the spells. So it's like, and she has this kind of magical connection to the pieces she's purchased. Of course, those stories, you get into it, you never get out. And that's somewhat what we wanted to get. We wanted to I like this notion of beyond time. It's beyond the functionality. It's emotional. There's a soul to the stories we read.
Cool. Looking forward to reading the book. Now about the new watches that you're presenting during Geneva Watch Days.
Yes. So we do not present too many collections, but what I like about them is they somewhat are an interesting connection to the book, actually, because they're all brand new products connected to some moments of our history. We are presenting a new version of Octo Finissimo in Carbon-Gold. Carbon-Gold is a product that we actually presented, and the connection of the material carbon and gold was presented in 1993 on the BB collection. It was actually different materials, it was gold plated, it was a different price point. This time we really took it literally. We put carbon and massive gold on the caliber, carbon on the case, to create this piece that I'm wearing right now, which is a beautiful aesthetic representation of Octo Finissimo. And we propose it both on the watch and the perpetual calendar. Then we are launching a new jewelry collection. Thanks to the ramp up of the production of our Piccolissimo caliber, we have the capacity to develop new jewelry creations with a very, very tiny movement. And this time, so we are presenting the collection Monete Catene, which is actually reinterpretation of the chains that we used to have in our jewelry, but also exhibiting a Monete collection. And so it's a secret watch with a Monete. And the beauty of the two products we're presenting, there's an amazing story. So we're presenting two models. One is the regular watch, and one is a GMT watch. So a GMT watch, which is interesting when with the Piccolissimo. I was actually challenging the team and saying, guys, we need to develop the possibilities around the Piccolissimo. We need to bring functionalities, etc. And of course, the team were telling me, "Hey, Antoine, it takes a bit of time. It's complex, you know. The movement is really, really tiny. It's 1.2 grams. You're not going to make developments that easily." But then Fabrizio told me, "You know what? I have a solution for you. I'm going to make a GMT caliber for you." And Fabrizio, you're in charge of the design. I'm not asking you to do the construction of calibers. But basically, he came with this big manchette watch. And actually, what he did is he put two Piccolissimo calibers inside the watch. Therefore, you do have the two time zones that you can set. So it was his aesthetical answer to a technical briefing, which we loved, obviously, because it's funny and we like to put some sense of humor in our creations. And what is beautiful about those Monete, so the GMT watch is featuring the Emperor Septimus and his wife Julia, which is very rare. We have these coins, these historical coins that we put in our jewelry watches, and so you see the couple being exhibited on the watch. So it's the Emperor was reigning at the end of the 2nd century after Christ, and the watch itself is featuring the Emperor Caracalla with the son of the couple. So we have this family story in the collection of our Monete Catone, which is a beautiful story, again, anchoring us in our history, in our Italian history.
It's difficult to find those coins.
It is difficult to find coins as a whole. These coins, there are volumes of them. So of course, we are taking that point into consideration when we are developing these kinds of products. Some of the rarest coins are used for big pieces of jewelry. And those ones, we produce 1 or 2 in a year because they are almost impossible to find these days.
Thanks for explaining all this, Antoine. And
You're welcome.
For the rest of the show.
Thank you. Bye-bye.